Hello everyone, Dave here with some thoughts on another knife for you guys. Tonight, going to take a look at the MOD Caracara. It's a knife that I had been looking at for a while and was kind of on the fence on whether or not to get it. Sort of tell you guys why, but did get off the fence and purchased it, obviously because it's sitting here. And I'm happy to say that it hasn't disappointed, and I'm relatively very happy with the knife. Okay, let's jump into it. As usual, put the specifications in the description area so you can check those out. Highlights, full titanium frame, both sides. Very thick titanium slabs with the titanium frame lock. Carbon fiber inserts, you can also get those with G10, but I went with the carbon fiber styling, just personal preference. Yeah, there we go. I think it looks really cool. S30V blade steel. With the black coating. Does not come in a stone washed or other finish, so you basically get the black coating. No choice there. The blade design, as you can see, it's a modified Hawkbill. Very reminiscent, and you could tell by the handle use, and why I was on the fence, if you will, is the design and intent is very much karambit style, okay, in its use. However, one of the things you'll notice and why it isn't a karambit, no finger hole. Okay, so that does limit it, and it's not a karambit and can't be used exactly the same in that, but in that sense without it. But really hasn't disappointed. The finger grooving on the blade, you can see here, is very nicely contoured to fit superbly into the hand. Those of you with larger hands will probably end up going into the knife area, into the last finger choil up there on the blade. However, my hand fits just fine into the handle itself. Okay, from some testing and some practice I've done with the knife, this catch up here works exceptionally well. However they designed it, the angle and the notching they put on there is really superb. As you guys may or may not know, when you're using the karambit style, a lot of force is encountered once the blade makes contact and continues along its path. Unlike with a regular shaped knife, if you will, your standard shape, where the force and the tension lessen as you cut through an object due to the shaping of the blade. With a karambit style or a Hawkbill style blade, it remains the same, if not more, as it contacts that curved edge. So the amount of catch up here is very important for a knife used in that technique. So I was actually really impressed with the way they did the shaping here. While obviously it's not as good as a full finger hole, it does serve the purpose well enough. Very secure in its use. So was actually happy to see that, and that's one of the reasons why I said at the beginning I'm very happy with the way it performs. The balance on the knife is pretty good in its use. You're not going to be doing any twirling movements, obviously, but it handles very well. It's a very slim knife, not very thick at all, as I'll show you in some of the comparisons. Not exceptionally long either. I do like the profile of the knife. You can see here the shape. Very nice, very elegant. It is not as curved as some other knives in its area, which again is going to affect the way it cuts and the way it's used, so that's something to consider. As you can see in the back here, full, I believe it's a G10 backspacer, which for the use of the knife really doesn't matter that it's not flow-through construction at all. One of the things that I was really impressed with, and this wasn't described to me as part of the purchase, is that thickness of the blade. It's, for an S30V blade, I'd say it's right up there with Strider thickness and hard use. And with these thick titanium slabs, very impressed with the build quality. If I had known more about this knife sooner, I probably would have picked it up a lot sooner. So those full titanium scales handle just awesome. It does not feature a stop lock. However, as you can sort of see here, two places for the clip if you choose to carry it that way. If you'll notice, the clip holes are different. Pretty simple reason why for that is you have two different clips, because obviously with the curvature of the blade, depending upon how you clip it, it's going to curve differently. So this guy came with two different clips. Obviously they're not here right now, but depending upon which position you choose the clip you want to use, and it curves along with the handle of the knife. Very nice. In either case, it sort of becomes your stop lock. I don't really have a consideration, or it's not a consideration for me of worrying about hyper extending that lock, so I don't really care. It's still getting worked in, but it does lock up relatively deep into the blade, very secure. One of the advantages of the full frame lock is when you are actually using it, you cover that. There's no way to accidentally, or it would be very hard to accidentally disengage that lock. Very nice. Some comparables that I would say. The first one that came to mind when I saw the shape of the blade was the Strider PS Tonari Karambit. You can see there the similar shaping of the blade. Obviously the Strider's a lot thicker, but the angling of the knife, it is not so extreme as a Emerson Karambit, which you can see there, it's a much deeper Hawkbill shape. Okay, so it's sort of a cross in between. It's not quite as straight as the Strider. It does have a little bit more of an arc, but yeah, you could sort of see there for yourselves. Handle, you could see the difference between all of them. Like I said, the missing, it's not a Karambit because of that. However, with that grooving and sweep there, it does function relatively well. Obviously your use is different and limited in that respect, but yeah. Okay, some of the things I said about the thickness, you can take a look right there. The Emerson steels are pretty thick, but you know, that S30V is just phenomenal. Super thick blade, held all the way throughout the curvature. You know, very sharp pinpoint tip, as you would expect for this type of use. I would say very comparable, but not quite as thick as the Strider blade. Yeah, you're getting up there, but similar. Again, S30V. You can sort of see here the curvature comparisons, okay, what you're looking at. The handle obviously longer than either of the other two, you know, for gripping purposes, but, you know, different types of knives. But I figured they were good comparables. Just to give you an idea, let's see, just to give you an idea of sort of how that Hawkbill looks compared to a straight blade. Mini Barrage, just for a quick comparison. You can see there how much different that is. That's a cutting potential. So, just for size, sort of carry use. Okay, other quick things that I've liked about it. It does feature a lanyard hole there. I haven't, well, surprise, surprise, tried to fit one through there yet. Still working about how I want to deal with that design for this particular use, but it is there. So we will see. Maybe we'll get a second part to this video. But overall, been very impressed with the use and the way it actually handles. The feeling is very secure. The handle grip is great. These titanium slabs, I sort of mentioned it. If you can get a look there, they're very thick. You know, for a full titanium handle, the build quality on this just great. You can see the tolerances up here for the blade. Phenomenal again. The action. Pretty good, I would say. It's still getting worked in a little bit, but you know, it's great. That click with the frame lock just can't be beat. So I would say high quality knife, great for its intended use. Would have been interesting if it had been a full Karambit, but they chose to make it instead a folding Hawkbill. But anyway, I like it, and that's been about it. Questions, comments, always appreciated. Hope you guys enjoy. Thanks. Bye-bye.